Samoa Joe, unbeaten, untamed, unstoppable, and unlike any athlete you have ever seen. Watch Samoa Joe unleash brutal fury in the ring when TNA Wrestling presents Against All Odds, live Sunday, February 12th on pay-per-view. He is Samoa Joe, the newest phenom in professional wrestling. Now, he battles the phenomenal AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels in a triple threat match for the X Division title. Plus, he came to TNA for one reason. Now, Christian Cage gets his chance at championship gold when he battles Jeff Jarrett for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. TNA presents Against All Odds, live February 12th on pay-per-view.
You're listening to Between the Ropes on 740 The Team, Orlando's sports leader.
Back here on Between the Ropes on 740 The Team. TNA Wrestling made the announcement earlier this week that the Impact show is going to be moving to prime time beginning on April 13th. It'll be moving to Thursday nights beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern. And joining us right now is the president of TNA Wrestling, as we are joined by Dixie Carter. Dixie, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Congratulations on the deal. I know it's something that you've been wanting to do for a while, and now TNA gets the opportunity to go to prime time.
Yeah, we are very excited, obviously. It's a great moment for this company, and I think well-deserved for all of our guys who get out there and work so hard, each and every week. So we're really thrilled.
Obviously, the goal all along was to try to get the best time slot that you could get. How exactly did this deal come about? Because it sounds like it was something that didn't take too long to put together with Spike TV.
Not at all. I mean, they have been a great partner from day one, and just in the first quarter alone when we were with them, the first 3 months we were with them, we had 2 primetime specials, a New Year's Eve special. They see the potential in us, and they have since day one. And I think it was almost 3 months into the program that we started talking, very quietly about a move to primetime, and talked about it, got it sealed quickly, had meetings in New York, started putting the plan in place and all the support that we're going to put behind it, and made the announcement. So it's a great day and just lightning speed, for a television network of this size to have brought us on and moved us up this quickly.
Now, with Spike being such a huge network, how have your dealings been with them as compared to how they were with when you were on Fox Sports Net?
Well, they're great to work with. The guys at Fox Sports Net were great too. I mean, it just, unfortunately for us, it wasn't a network where we had any kind of upside. I mean, they're made up of 22 regional networks, and on any given night, they could have 5, 6, 7, 12, 15 preemptions in the primetime slots for, their major league sports in that market. So, primetime wasn't an option for us then, and we really, we delivered big there, but, Spike's just a whole different deal, and these guys are great to work with. They see the upside in TNA, and I just think this is just the beginning, quite honestly.
Now, with this new time slot on Thursday nights, this really continues the synergy between TNA and the UFC. Do you feel like there's a good connection with the two audiences at this point?
Well, I mean, I think I do. I mean, I think that audience is growing. I think MMA fans are being introduced to wrestling and vice versa. So, it probably will help both properties, along the way.
With the show obviously moving to Thursday night, that's a proven night for wrestling, but there's always been talk that people would like to see TNA possibly go to Monday night to go up against WWE and what's always been an established wrestling night. Is that a goal for the promotion that sooner or later down the line you'd like to be on that night if Spike TV is all for it to go up against WWE?
Well, I'm thrilled being on Thursday nights. I mean, that's historically the biggest night of television, during the week. Like you said, it has drawn wrestling in the past. I mean, man, I wouldn't mind if we were up against the SmackDown, in that old Thursday time slot. That would have been great. But I think it's more about us getting a great time slot on the network that is committed to promoting us and seeing where it goes.
And even being on Thursday nights, it's almost like TNA is kind of breaking the mold a little bit that it was set. It doesn't have to be on Monday nights just because that's the way it's been for several years. You know what? You've done a lot of things differently. Why not do this differently as well?
Well, that's only happened once in wrestling history when that, the magic of the Monday Night Wars happened. So, you're right. We have done things differently, and I think we'll continue to go on and make a name for ourselves and have some great success. And then, we'll see where it takes us. Maybe somebody moves to Thursday nights. You never know.
Well, as the company continues to grow, I think the next obvious step for the show, for Impact itself, is to possibly see if you can get a 2-hour block or even a 90-minute block. Is that something that you are going to work aggressively towards getting within maybe the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, I think that, again, we continue to prove ourselves. Spike has shown that they're open to having the success of TNA on their network. So, whether it be maybe another show, whether it be an expanded show, I definitely think that those are all possibilities if we continue to deliver.
Now, Dixie, has there been any thought to actually taking some of the pay-per-views on the road? I know there's been rumors about house shows, which, may or may not happen, but as far as the pay-per-views go, would that be too big of a task, getting the, bringing camera crews and all these different things to different arenas around the country to bring the shows out of Orlando?
Well, it is a big task, believe me, but, it happens every day on the road with, major events and concerts and things such as that. So it's something that we would like to do. Yes, we are talking house shows, both, domestically and internationally. And, and I think that the pay-per-view would be something that we would tour first from a television standpoint versus the Impact show. We're in such a great position at Universal Studios in Orlando, and I just want to take a moment to thank all of the great fans from the Orlando area and those who listen in and tune in, to you guys and to you guys in particular for all your support, because, it's such a great audience that we have there. It's a great experience. If you've not been, I encourage you to come out. It's a really fun show to see it, firsthand. But, we're so blessed because in this situation, yes, we get a lot of great regulars from the Orlando market, but on any given night, we could get 70, 80, 90% of people from around the world, around the country, who have never seen us before that we don't have to travel to, that come to us. So it's a unique situation and a great, it's been a, great part of our business model and allowing us to help us grow this company. So the first thing we probably would do television-wise would be to tour the pay-per-views.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a smart thing. Now, house shows, whenever I hear this, I kind of scratch my head because I look at, the other companies and they're touring, and they're just, it doesn't seem like it's a money-making venture to go out and try and do house shows because you're not going to get, if you get 1,000 people at this point, you're doing really good.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, touring in general is a risky and expensive proposition. There's no doubt. But there is something very, very special about allowing your fans to connect, face to face with the talent and feel the energy that they bring to the ring. That's not an issue for the Orlando market, thank goodness. But at some point we are going to need to do that. We don't have to. We've proven that we can be successful by being smart businessmen. And we have a very specific, strategy put in place. So when we do it, it'll be a market where we feel like there is demand. And, we don't have the egos to go in there and say, we're going to go try to fill this arena. We'll start small and hopefully have success and build upon that.
Like you said, the Orlando market's been very good to TNA so far, and obviously this is one of your home bases with all of the television shows. But as you continue to grow, obviously you want to go into some other markets. But even in the future, how committed will you be to Orlando? I mean, we continue to have shows here on a regular basis, or could it be a situation where maybe you're down here as much as possibly some other places you might go to in the future?
Well, I mean, our goal right now is to continue to always tape the Impact show there. So, we will be there. If we ever tape weekly, we'd be there weekly, or we're there every other week as it stands right now. So, I mean, we are very, very committed to the Orlando area. Universal Studios has been just, you couldn't ask for more from those guys, and they're fun to work with. They're great to work with, and it's really been a wonderful marriage.
We're speaking with Dixie Carter of TNA Wrestling. Now, Dixie, a lot of talk after the signing of Sting about who else could possibly be brought into the company. There's been rumors of Bill Goldberg. I believe even earlier today in an interview he said he would be interested in speaking with TNA and Spike TV about the possibility of coming in. We've heard the name Chris Jericho thrown around, even The Rock. Any thought, it's you talk about guys like this, you talk about a lot of money. Has there been serious discussion within the TNA walls about bringing anybody else in?
Well, those are three wonderful names, all huge within the business. We're in a we're in a great situation right now that, we've got I think that the most talented locker room in the business, period. And but our biggest challenge is we have 42 minutes of television, and that's it each week. And we've got a lot of guys who deserve, time on television for us to introduce them to the country and to let them become household names, and become household names with those who already are household names, and have had, a storied career in the business. So we've got a mixture of, I think, the hottest new talent that's been, exposed in years, and then, some great superstars. So, 42 minutes is not a lot of time. You start adding, extra people into the mix, and it just takes away for those that, quite honestly, have been with us either since day one or who have made decisions, before things got so great, to be with us. So I have a real commitment to those guys, and they deserve this opportunity. So, everything's on a case-by-case basis, but right now, we're set and good to go.
Obviously, with any kind of new company, you have to be patient as it grows, but it seemed like since now that TNA has moved off Fox Sports and gotten the Spike TV, the growth has been so quickly, because already getting that slot on Saturday night on a national network, and then now moving over to a primetime slot on Thursdays. Are you even surprised at how fast it's growing now on Spike?
It's like sometimes you look at a rock group and they're an overnight 20-year sensation, that they've been working at it a long time. 3.5 years is a very quick time to be where we're at right now. But, we started this building process with Fox Sports even before that, signing our video game deal with Midway, our toy deal with Marvel that are out in stores right now, a national distribution deal with for our DVDs that are in stores right now across America and doing unbelievable. All of those things happened before Spike. So, we obviously were having success in advance of this. This is just, the icing on the cake to be able to take our talent to another level and get the exposure that they deserve to enter. And I think America's ready. I mean, they're ready for, competition among wrestling and maybe for something different, and hopefully we'll provide that to them.
Dixie, with the recent passing of Eddie Guerrero, there's been a lot of talk about drug testing in the wrestling industry. WWE said they plan on starting it here sometime soon. While it may not be financially feasible to drug test everybody in the company like TNA at this point, has there been thought, of at least, trying to keep an eye on people and, trying to keep an eye on the situation, because it's always run rampant in the wrestling industry?
Absolutely. I mean, that has always been a priority for us. And, we're in a slightly different position. Our guys work for us a couple of days a month and then work for different, promoters across the world on an ongoing basis. So they're not, specifically TNA employees. So, we're in a slightly different position, but, yes, we've always done that. We've always watched very, very carefully. We've had situations where, we have had to become involved in certain things just, to make sure everything works out. But we will, we're even looking at, trying to change and upgrade, our own internal policies. And, it's something we take very, very, very seriously. And, it's just for the protection of everyone, quite honestly.
Two last things, Dixie. Obviously, everybody wants to do better business when it comes to the pay-per-views, get more buys, but it's a process of getting the word out there to get people to know more about TNA. What's the next step in trying to promote the company outside of Spike TV so that way more people know about TNA and will be willing to buy pay-per-views?
Well, I think Spike's a big part of it. I think when we move to Thursday nights, it'll be a whole different audience, and I think that it'll be, we'll have our replays continue on Saturday nights in our original time slot, which is wonderful. But, we will be, growing a new audience at that time. I think, the exposure of, releasing a top-line, video game, starting to tour, people seeing our DVDs on the shelf, seeing, consumer advertising, seeing, really solid affiliate relations support, all of those pieces of the puzzle, need to come together and are coming together at, beautifully to, at this time for us to take that next step to really increase our pay-per-view buys. But it's, it's going to take a little bit of time. I mean, you think about the 2 million people that are watching our show weekly, each week now, many of them, most of them are probably new to our product, may have never heard of an AJ Styles or a Samoa Joe or a Chris Daniels, and it's going to take them, some time to become emotionally invested in these characters. And but I'm quite confident it'll happen sooner than later because the talent's there, they're fantastic, and I couldn't be more proud of what they do in representing our company.
Last thing, I'm sure that you know something about this, but I still find it kind of funny from a standpoint that WWE never mentions TNA from a standpoint, and at the same time you can tell that there's a little bit of, they know that are on the radar, and now we hear word that they were interested in, or at least contacted AJ Przinsky of the White Sox to possibly be a part of WrestleMania, which of course is in Chicago this year. At the same time, they try to not talk anything about TNA, and I understand that, but at the same time, I find it kind of funny that they're really interested in getting a guy that's a celebrity that has already been a part of your show.
I find that very interesting too, and there's no doubt. I mean, they're a wonderful company and brilliant marketers, and you don't get into that position without being aware of your surroundings and your competition and things such as that. And so they are obviously their talent watches the show. I'm sure they watch the show. They're very aware of every move that we make. We know that, but we also feel like competition is great. We wish them nothing but success. When I see that they have a great TV rating, I just think that that's great for the business. It's great for TNA. It's great for WWE, and even better for the fans. So we wish them nothing but continued success because history's proven that there is room for two very, very successful, healthy companies competing out there in this genre, and I just think it's time that happens again.
Well, Dixie, you're doing a great job with TNA. It continues to grow. I know everybody's extremely happy about its success so far, and to see another company in the wrestling business and see how well it's doing and providing an alternative with the excitement that TNA has out there. Thanks again for joining us for a few minutes tonight. We appreciate it, and tell everybody, don't forget the Against All Odds pay-per-view coming up on Sunday, and continue best of luck with TNA and the future of the company.
Thank you so much. It's going to be a great show on Sunday. Hope to see you guys out there and your listeners out there. Thanks to everything you do for us. I hope you know sincerely how much we appreciate it.
Thanks, Dixie. We appreciate it.
Take care.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Dixie Carter joined us there for a few minutes, and it's a very smart comment she makes about talking about she wants WWE to succeed, and I think there is some truth in that definitely because when wrestling does well, there's room for two companies. As long as you got something good going on.
Going back and forth, to compare against one another.
Well, look at it right now. WWE is doing its highest ratings it's done in a while and doing 4 finds. TNA's doing its highest rating it's done as well on a totally separate night.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just now breaking into the ones. Yeah. So it's interesting to see how wrestling can be, kind of tied in together, that even though it's different nights, it's different products to some extent, but overall it's wrestling and they're both doing well.
Yeah, and Dixie Carter's the coolest company boss we've ever had on.
That's true.
And the hottest, too.
Mm-hmm. 407-916-82.